Okay, it's Friday night. We're live, and I'd like to welcome you to the man cave. Let me try to get settled in here correctly. Uh, like I said, I'm going to try to do some more of these regular live streams. I've got a lot of things to talk about, and I thought I'd have a beer with you guys on a Friday night. And tonight I'm going to have one of these Stone Tropic of Thunder lagers. It's a pretty decent beer. See if I can show you what that can looks like anyway. I picked this up recently. It's the first time I've had this one. It's pretty good. It'll do for a Friday night. So, welcome to the man cave. I'm inside. I've had some problems outside at the party deck in the last couple weeks. If you notice when I shoot my videos, when I'm standing in front of my grills or standing with my grills, talking to the camera, I've got this nice, I've got the yard behind me, and there's a big row of Leland cypress trees that form a background for me to work against out there. Well, the town I live in did me a real big favor and trimmed those trees, and they trimmed them on the street side all the way back to the trunk, about 6-7 feet off the ground, because there's some parking spaces over there that are for the town's post office, and apparently they thought the branches were giving problems for the people that were parking there, and instead of asking me to trim them back like they normally do, they took it upon themselves, and they made a mess. They made it really ugly, and my wife and I raised a little bit of hell with the town, and we had the town just go ahead and take the trees out completely. So I've got no background to work against out there anymore yet. I'm working on it. We're gonna get a fence put up and some new shrubbery, but in the meantime, I might be shooting my video intros here in the man cave kitchen, which that'll work. I've done it before, and it's not the worst thing in the world. The lighting in here is not perfect, so I'm going to get a softbox or some sort of light to help me even the lighting situation out here, because the light that I have here is directly above me, and that doesn't work so well. So, man cave meals. I've had a blast with this project. Been doing it for a long time now, and I was just looking at the numbers earlier today. I'm just shy of 16,000 likes on Man Cave Meals and 17,200 followers. So I appreciate all y'all. Y'all make this a lot of fun for me. It keeps growing, and it's just getting better and better. So if you're watching, leave me a comment on this feed and tell me where you're from. I don't know. I know most of my following is based here in the United States, and actually it's kind of late over in Europe. So I guess most of the people that are watching here are either here in the U.S. with us, or maybe the Australians that are getting up early on Saturday morning. There might be a couple of those guys with us this morning as well. So yeah, I think they're 12 to 14 hours off of us. It's probably 8 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning someplace in Australia. So yeah, those Australians are some crazy good barbecue people. I see some amazing food coming out of the Australian Kamado fans. So, like I said, I'm going to get started to have a beer. It's Friday. So have one with me. There's a couple of things I want to talk about tonight. Some things I've posted in various social media groups this week. As you know, if you're a Kamado Joe fan, Kamado Joe's put some new products out. They've made the SLoROLLER add-on available for the original Kamado Joes and the 2 Series grills. Now, I know a lot of people have been waiting for a long time for that option. They came out, and if I remember correctly, they're $199 and $249 respectively for the Classic and the Big Joe. That's the price point that's hanging on those. And of course, when I posted that, I get the same question I get originally when I started working with the SLoROLLER, and that question is does it make a difference? Is it worth it? Do I need this product? Well, I'm going to answer that question for you as honestly as I can. And first of all, it's not a requirement. You don't have to have the SLoROLLER. I cooked on Kamado Joe for a long time, very happily and very contently before the SLoROLLER came out. But when I got my Classic 3 with the SLoROLLER, the very first thing I wanted to do is test that SLoROLLER and see if I'm going to get the benefits that were touted for having that SLoROLLER. And the points that Kamado Joe pushed when they introduced the SLoROLLER was better interaction with the smoke. Your food's going to get better smoke contact with the SLoROLLER, and you're going to get more even cooking. So I wanted to test those things, and I thought the best way to test it, and you can go back into Kamado Joe's YouTube channel and find this video. It's the very first video I did with the SLoROLLER when it came out. I roasted a whole chicken because I think that's a great way to test anything. And I actually think I may have surprised the folks at DeSora when I chose to do that, because most of their testing and work with the SLoROLLER was with low and slow barbecue, which also I'm going to talk about that. But I wanted to roast a chicken because chicken, I like to get a chicken that's very evenly cooked and that has a nice, very done skin on it, which means I like to cook up around 450, 475 degrees when I roast a whole chicken. So I trust the chicken. Actually the first cook I didn't put on video. I roasted a chicken just to see how it was going to go. I didn't make a video because if it bombed, I didn't want to have a video that didn't perform well. So I roasted that chicken, and it came out, it was the best chicken I had ever cooked. It was the most evenly cooked chicken I had ever cooked, and it actually cooked a little quicker, and I believe that it might have cooked a little quicker because of the improved convection that I was getting with the SLoROLLER. So in order to confirm that that wasn't a fluke, I did it again. I did the exact same cook with another chicken the same size. I trust it the same way, and I did make the video on the second cook, and my results were equal. They were just as good on the second cook. So I talked about that in that video. I got a more even cook. I got a quicker cook, I think, with better convection, and it was just perfect. Everything about that chicken was perfect. I followed that with a Boston butt. And if you go look at that video, I got a beautiful smoke ring from the Boston butt cook using the SLoROLLER. I don't remember what temperature I cooked at on that one. It may have been 250. It may have been 300. I don't remember. I didn't review that video, but I got a great bark. I got a great even cook. And once again, I believe I noticed that I think my food cooked a little faster than typical, which is hard to gauge on something like a Boston butt. But I felt like I got a quicker cook. Whether I did or not, I don't really know. But I've cooked a lot of meat a lot of ways, and typically, if I noticed something a little different, there was probably something a little different there. But I like the SLoROLLER. Whether or not you want to upgrade to the SLoROLLER, that's definitely a call you'll have to make. I'm happy with it. I use it every chance I get. I like the convection. I like everything I get about it. So whether it's worth it or not, worth is a question I hate to answer. People ask me, is it worth it? And worth means different things to different people. At $199 and $250, worth is going to be determined, by whether or not that's okay for you to spend that kind of money on an add-on. I just wish that everybody could have the opportunity to try it. I really do. It's a really nice system. I like how it works, and like I said, my Kamado Joe Classic 3 is my go-to grill. The only time I cook on my 2 is if I want to cook something else while I've got something going on the 3. I'm fortunate enough to have 2 Kamado Joe Classics, and I think that makes me very happy. That gives me all the flexibility I could ever want. So yeah, the SLoROLLER's out. It's available. Atlanta Grill Company's got those on their website. So if you're interested in hooking up with that, they're out there. The second thing Kamado Joe put out this week at the same time was the aluminum side shelf upgrades for the Classic and the Big Joe. Those are the same side shelves that come on the 3 Series grills. And if I remember correctly, I wish I had written these numbers down here. I think the Classic aluminum side shelves are $149, and I think the Big Joe aluminum side shelves are $199. If you want to upgrade to those, they're available. I am going to upgrade my Classic 2 to the aluminum side shelves because I like to set hot things over there without having to worry about melting the HDPE side tables. And I love that on the 3. My Classic 3's got them already, but I'm going to buy a set to go on the Classic 2. To me, that's a no-brainer. That's worth it. It's worth every penny of it for me. So those are out there if you want to have a look at them. The other thing I got new this week, Atlanta Grill Company has picked up some pizza dough kits from a company called Urban Slicer Pizza Works. I posted about these today in several places on social media. These are the dry ingredient kits for 3 different pizza doughs where all you got to do is add the water. And I think each of these is set up to make 2 pizzas unless you're using this one, actually the Detroit deep dish. You can make 2 8x8 pizzas or make one 10x14 Detroit style pizza. And all you got to do is add the water. It gives you the instructions for mixing the dough and rising the dough, putting it in the pan. These are $6.99 a piece, and they've got the Detroit deep dish. They've got one here called the Outdoor Grilling Pizza Dough. And when I went and looked on their website, this is a pizza dough that they roll out and they cook it directly on the grill grates. And in their video, they cooked them on the aluminum grill grates, but you could also cook them directly on your stainless steel or your cast iron grill grates as well, as long as you're setting up for an indirect cook. And then there's the Neapolitan style option also, which a lot of people like Neapolitan styles. I'm going to make videos with each of these in the coming weeks, and I'm going to cook each one of them on a different oven. I think I'm going to get the Roccbox out and do this Neapolitan style pizza. Some of you have probably seen some of the content I've done on the Roccbox, and we're going to talk more about the Roccbox here in a minute. But I'm going to do the 900 degree Neapolitan style on the Roccbox. I'm going to do the Detroit deep dish. We'll do that on the Alpha wood-fired oven. And the grilling, where we cook directly on the grill grates, I'm probably going to do that on the Kamado Joe. I think that would be the best option for that. So if you're interested in making your own doughs and don't want to worry about weighing out your ingredients, these are going to be some great options for you. They're priced right at $6.99 when it's enough to make 2 pizzas in each package. So you could actually split those out and not make them both at the same time. The instructions on the package talk about making it all at once and then dividing it into 2 pizza doughs that you'll cook. But if you don't want to make but 1 pizza, you could split that dough out evenly. In that case, you would probably need to weigh it out to get it just right, and save the second for another batch. And I'm looking forward to trying these out. Atlanta Grill Company sent me these free of charge to try, and we're going to make video content with these, and I'm going to give you my opinions on each of those as we go. So we'll be talking about those more. And the Roccbox is something I wanted to talk about. I was talking to the guys at Atlanta Grill Company earlier this week about the Urban Slicer Pizza Works doughs, and they informed me that they are now the sole source in the United States for the Roccbox pizza oven, and I thought that was fantastic. This thing's great. On the Atlanta Grill Company Facebook page and on their YouTube channel, there's video content there that I made. I did a walk around demo of the Roccbox to show you what that grill's like, and I also did some cooking on the Roccbox, but we're going to have another one, so if you haven't seen those, go check those out, and you'll have another one coming up. I'm not sure which one. I might just do that one first since I haven't done a Roccbox video lately, and we'll get that Roccbox out. But that thing's amazing when it comes to doing Neapolitan style pizza on your back patio, because it's a small pizza oven, it's gas fired, and it gets screaming hot, and that's what you got to have to cook a true Neapolitan style pizza. You want that oven, 800, 900 degrees Fahrenheit. You want it just really blazing hot. I'm getting behind on this because I'm running my mouth too much. I get on a roll and don't stop. So I hope everybody's having decent times during this COVID quarantine. I'm really sick of it myself. I don't like being isolated this much and not being around the people that I'm used to being around as frequently. Some of you know that I do have a real job as well. I'm an x-ray tech at a local hospital, and because of that, I'm exposed to COVID every shift that I work. I have a really weird shift that I work that's weekends only. That's why you see more of me online during the week than you do on the weekends, is because I work this really weird shift on the weekends only in the hospital. And COVID's something that's changed everybody's lives, including mine. And my wife and I, this week, actually, we both got enrolled and started in a clinical trial for COVID vaccine. And both of us have had our first visits and first injections on that already. And it's a double-blind study, so we may have placebos, we may have vaccine candidates. We don't know. So, but I kind of jumped at that opportunity when I saw it. I kind of feel like it's worth it to me to have a 50-50 chance of getting a head start on a vaccine, because of the fact that I do get exposed to people with COVID every time I go to work. We wear all the proper personal protective equipment, but still there's always that possibility. I've had coworkers get sick with COVID, and I'm trying my best to avoid it. And from what I hear, beer kills COVID. My wife won't buy into that. But yeah, my mom, I don't want to expose my mom to COVID. I don't want to expose Tanya's parents to COVID. So we do what we can, and I hope everybody else is doing what they can as well. I wear a mask every time I go out in public where I'm going to be around people. And the mask is not keeping me from getting COVID, but if I have COVID, it's keeping me from, or it's helping keep me from transmitting it to somebody else as easily. So I'm trying to do my part. I hope everybody else is too. And that's all I've got on my list that I wanted to talk about tonight. I don't really have much of anything else going on. I haven't even planned out what I'm going to cook next week yet. We may have another pizza. I may just go ahead and do another pizza to get one of these doughs done, because, man, I don't know about y'all, but pizza is something I don't ever get tired of. I can do pizza frequently, and we'll probably do a pizza, but I'll probably do another short on an extra like I've been trying to do on Thursdays lately. This past week I gave you guys my recipe for honey mustard that's really an amazing honey mustard. If you like honey mustard, please try mine. I think you'll love it. What I need to get set up down here is my laptop. This live streaming equipment that I'm using here, I can't see all of your questions and comments. I can see one at a time pop up, but I don't know who they're coming from. I need to get another screen over here going where I can see the comment stream and respond to your comments. Maybe next time I'll get my wife to come down here and do that with me. But if you have a comment for me or a question or something else you'd like to see done on the live stream, leave the comment here, because I will go back through all those comments and I will respond to those. Somebody just asked me what's the best beer I've ever had, and oh goodness, I don't know if Gerben's out here watching with me tonight or not, but thanks to my good friend Gerben down in Marietta, Georgia, I have seen the light. I have been exposed directly to all three of the Westvletter and Trappists. The Westie 12, the Westie 8, and the Westie Blonde. And I don't care what people think about the Westvletter and Trappist ales. I know there's a big stigma around those because you can't get them easily here in the United States, but I think the Westie 8, I'm not ready to claim one of those as my favorite yet. The Westie 8 and the Westie Blonde, both of those beers are very high on my favorites list. I do like the 12. The 12 though is a big Belgian quad. It's a heavy beer, and it's not something, it's something you drink small quantities of. That's not a beer that I would put with a meal. That's a dessert beer if you ask me. It's very high in alcohol. I don't remember the content. I think it's north of 10%. And I like that beer served at about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that translates to in Celsius. I probably should, but my favorite beer, if I had to go out on a limb today, I would say the Westie 8's my favorite. On the beers that I can get normally, that I don't have to go chasing across the globe, I'm a big fan of the Rogue ales that come out of out of Oregon, somewhere out there in Oregon. I am a big fan of the Rogue Dead Guy Ale. It's a Hellesbock or a Maibach style beer. It's probably one of my favorites. I'm not a hop head like most people are. The American beer culture has become a how hoppy can I get my beer, and I'm not a big fan of that. I like a big malty beer that's got enough of a hop in it just to let you know it's there. And in fact, Stone has a real good example of that with their Arrogant Bastard. The Arrogant Bastard's a hoppy beer, but it has a big, rich malt backbone to go along with it. It's not a hop juice. It's a very well balanced beer. So I hope that answers your question about what my favorite beers are. I like a lot of beers, and I used to do a lot of home brewing before I got into barbecue. And unfortunately, I let my barbecue and grilling get in the way of my home brewing hobby, so I don't do a whole lot of home brewing anymore. Home brewing is time consuming, and it's a lot of work and then a lot of waiting. There's a lot of downtime in between. And my problem with home brewing is I wanted to be brewing all the time, and I was collecting so much beer I couldn't possibly drink it all, and I couldn't even give it away. So yeah, I decided barbecue works out better. I've always got a place for the barbecue to go when it's done. So I guess with that, I'll probably wrap up here. I don't want to ramble. And maybe Friday nights will be a good night to do this. We'll come back next Friday night and I'll have a little different agenda. If you've got some questions about things you'd like to talk about on the Friday night live stream, leave the comments here and we'll be back. So until next time, I thank you guys for stopping in.